After a night of drinking, Charlie's mother, Mignon, accused her of allowing her young daughter to get raped. But Charlie denies the rape happened and says doctors confirmed there was no incident. Charlie says that she always had a rough relationship with her mother and that this lie has made things even worse. However, Mignon claims that she's not lying. She says she heard this directly from her granddaughter. Mignon, what made you ask that question that night?
Because my granddaughter been her pants for over 2 years now. And she was up after 2 o'clock in the morning, the only person up in the whole house. So I asked her question, because I've been wanting to ask the question. And she told me, Grandma, when we moved to Wisconsin, yeah, I got hurt. And I said, well, what happened? She said, my mom let me go to my friend's house to play with my friend. And she said I could spend the night. And she said that they were playing, and they asked the little kid's dad if they could go play in the attic, not knowing that the man had went up there already, knowing the girls were gonna go up there and play. She said they were playing, you know, and he grabbed her arm and pulled her into a room and molested my baby in that room. And she said she was screaming for help and nobody was there to help her.
Yeah. Did your granddaughter say, I told Mom?
No.
Did you ask that question?
I did.
And what did she say?
She said no.
Did you then inform your daughter
Yes, I
of
did.
what your granddaughter said? And what was your daughter's reaction?
She told me I was lying. I put that in my grandbaby's head. And I just went berserk because I thought to myself, what would I be to put that in my...
I mean, that's...
what would I gain from that?
When I hear that, I'm like, yeah, why would you make this up?
Right.
You're not trying to get custody of your granddaughter.
No,
like
I'm over kids, really.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Your daughter then takes your granddaughter to the hospital?
Because I told her to.
And what happened at the hospital?
At the hospital, I was calling and calling and calling. So finally, she answered the phone. I said, let me talk to my granddaughter. I said, you okay? She tells me, Grandma, you scared me. Scared you? Like, okay, I'm not gonna get into it right now, but Grandma, I apologized to her. I said, Grandma, sorry if I scared you, you know, and I hung up the phone, you know, and that was that.
So you think that your daughter coached her to say, hey, this didn't happen?
Yes.
And like you would say, hey, why would I make this up? Why do you think your daughter would coach her daughter to say, if she was sexually assaulted, to say, I made this up?
Because, first of all, she's scared how I'm gonna react.
Your daughter's scared of you?
Yes. And she hasn't been a good mother to her children.
She hasn't?
No. And me and her have been beefing about that for years.
She's not a good mother to any of her kids? How hasn't she not been a good mother to your grandkids?
My 14-year-old, well, now she's 15, which is her oldest child, my granddaughter. She has her taking care of her 2 little kids, like they're
so
hers.
She's like an absentee mother?
Yes.
Okay. What happened last week?
Last week, well, her and my other daughter got in a fight in my house about this situation, and I had to...
They had a physical confrontation?
Yes.
And why did the 2 sisters have a physical confrontation?
Because my daughter brought it up, like, you're not taking care of your kid and you're making her not say what happened to her in Wisconsin, and you know your daughter was raped. That's what my oldest daughter said to her.
And did you take a lie detector test?
Yes.
Whether you're making this up?
Yes.
But, I mean, again, I honestly don't know why you would make something up like this.
Right.
Were you drinking when this all happened?
Yes.
Oh, you were drinking?
Yes.
Could you have been so intoxicated that you misconstrued?
No.
No. Okay, well, let's bring out your daughter, Charlie.
You just lied to me.
You
lied.
You know,
You're lying.
I would never make nothing up like that.
You're lying. Because first of all, I take care of my kids. Second of all, this didn't happen. I would never let my daughter get hurt.
I don't
you to
know.
sit here and keep
You're
trying to tell people I'm a bad mom that's messed up.
You are.
You're a bad mom.
You are.
My grandmother raised me.
Oh.
My uncle took care of me.
Okay.
Your sister did our hair. You chose drugs over us.
Okay.
So please stop.
Okay.
You tell them to me. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's your floor.
My kids will not see you no more after this, because I'm tired of the games with you.
Okay. You're hurting them with that, baby.
I don't care. I'm taking care of my kids with that.
You've been doing that.
I'm taking care of my kids with that.
That's how you
I'm taking care of my kids with that.
That's how you took the kids to Wisconsin.
I'm taking care of my kids with that.
You went there broke, didn't know nobody.
I'm taking care of my kids with that. I don't care about nothing you talking about.
You hear what I said?
You went upstairs at 2 a.m., woke my daughter up.
She was already woke.
If she was woke, why are you questioning her at 2 a.m. drunk, completely intoxicated? My sister put you out her house how drunk you was.
Oh, okay, okay.
Why do you think your mom is saying these things?
My mom hates me. Out of all my hates me.
Why does she hate you?
Because I can't do what my other do for her. I can't buy her drugs. I can't buy her liquor. I'm on a small income, so I have to take care of 3 children of my own that I take care of. Yeah. She called my oldest daughter a bitch when this came out at 2 a.m.
When your mom called you or talked to you and said, hey, your daughter has been sexually assaulted by this man in Wisconsin, I take it was.
Yes.
What did you do?
I asked her, why are you talking to her when I'm not there? Why are you questioning her? Why are you saying stuff? It came out from Aisha first. Aisha was intoxicated and she was sober, yes. And she was sober and acted like she didn't know none of it happened when me and Aisha had the altercation. Yeah. She acted like she didn't know nothing about it and she was the sober one.
Is that true?
No.
Yes, it is
okay.
true.
But at some point, did you then question your daughter?
I did.
And what did your daughter say?
My daughter said, when Grandma came to me at 2 a.m., she asked me 4 times, did anything happen? She told her 3 times, nothing happened. Nothing happened and nothing happened. She said the last time she asked her, she said, yeah, Grandma, it happened. My daughter FaceTimed me the next day with her laying right next to her, and I'm like, what did you and your grandma talk about? My daughter says nothing. Then she looks over on FaceTime, looks over, starts laughing, look back at the phone, and then looks over again and say, oh yeah, the white man hurt me.
So you believe that your mother was coaching your daughter?
My mom wants something to happen to my kids so she can probably get my kids or somebody else can get my kids.
Baby, I don't want no more kids. I raised 6 kids by myself.
Or 2 of my sisters.
The heck you talking about?
Don't get it wrong.
You sound crazy.
My son loves her to death.
So you did...
All my grandbabies love me to death.
So you then took your daughter to the hospital?
I did.
And what happened there?
A forensic nurse spoke with her separately from me. They did her exam. She was never touched. Nothing was damaged. None of that.
Well, it's been 2 years.
Did the hospital have an opinion about what happened to your daughter?
They said they feel like it was made up. When my daughter was telling her the story, she said it was made up.
And you said this was a forensic nurse?
A forensic nurse.
Okay. So at this point, the police didn't even have to be really involved because she
neither did child services.
She was interviewed by somebody who deals with this type of thing. Okay. What is your relationship like now with your mom?
I haven't talked to her.
Do you want a relationship with your mom?
After this, no.
Your sister, Aisha, you got into a physical fist fight with.
Yes.
She's going to join us now, and we're going to talk to her. How you doing, Aisha?
Hey, Steve. Charlie, you're full of it. All this stemmed from you. You called Mommy from Wisconsin crying, saying something happened to your daughter at the sleepover.
I didn't say none of that.
The next
so
day.
y'all can stop saying that. First of all, one of y'all said I text y'all. Then the second one said I called. So what is it? Y'all don't even know who made it up.
You called from Wisconsin,
and I told my mama I got to an altercation with a family member out in Wisconsin. I know you're going to take her for it because you live in her house at 33 years old, but it's cool. I know.
So, Aisha,
I know.
Hold on one second. Aisha, were you there when your niece talked about being sexually assaulted?
No, I wasn't there.
Yeah. Does your mom drink a lot?
We all drink a lot. Yeah. All of us.
Okay. So even Charlie?
Yeah, she drank probably every day or every other day.
Okay.
I don't, because I can't afford to drink every day like y'all. Sorry, y'all want me to be able to.
Why did you end up in a physical fight with your sister?
Because she's feeling real guilty about herself, about not taking care of her daughter like she should. Nothing should have happened to her in Wisconsin.
But I mean, why did it lead to fisticuffs?
Because we was drunk and she couldn't take the truth.
She was drunk.
We was all drunk.
I was
Charlie.
drinking with her, but she was drunk.
All drunk.
All right, Charlie, you're up first. You came here, took a lie detector test, and we asked you, while living out of town, did you ever leave your daughter in the care of people whom you did not know well?
Yes.
And you answered yes. Mm-hmm. You told the truth. We asked you, prior to Mignon's claim, did you have personal knowledge of your daughter being sexually abused by someone?
No.
You answered no. Prior to Mignon's claim, did your daughter ever tell you that she was sexually abused by anyone? You answered no. Did you allow your daughter to get sexually abused by neglect and failure to protect your daughter? You answered no. Those 3 questions came back that you told the truth.
Wow, I told the truth. Ain't happened to none of my kids. They are my life. They mean the world to me. I would never let nobody hurt my kids. Not even
Just shut up.
nobody
You
in
don't
my
want to call
family.
mommy panicking.
Nobody
Like,
family, bitch. You shut up. You did
no,
it.
you started to
You
do
put
me
us
by
here.
calling us from West
Bitch, you didn't want to come because you ain't want to be tested, bitch.
I'm on parole. I can't come, dummy.
You on probation, bitch. You could have came.
Charlie.
Charlie, you sound dumb.
Just so you know, you need a +3 to pass this test. She was a +23.
Hello. Hello.
I'm glad.
Hello. What you do that for? What the reason to me that make like that? Why would I say that?
What you gonna panicking for? Like shut the hell up, dumb dog.
With your dumb ass.
Make it make sense, dummy.
That ain't what I called
You
her.
the one
I
calling
just
on me
passed
crying.
my
You ain't talking
test.
about something
You
happened
look
to my daughter.
stupid.
stupid.
Glad you
You
did.
look stupid. You look
Like,
stupid.
make it make
And
sense.
when
I'm
your
glad you
mama
did.
fail, you gonna even look stupider. Dumbass bitch.
You loving the camera right now, huh?
Oh my God.
Aisha, it was very nice of you to join us. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Steve. Good luck to you.
Mignon, we go on and we gave you a lie detector test and we asked you, did you coach your granddaughter by helping her say she was sexually abused? You answered no. Did you fabricate and make up the story that your granddaughter was sexually abused? You answered no. Did your granddaughter ever tell you she was never hurt or abused by anyone when you were questioning her? You answered no. Did you continue to question your daughter while you were intoxicated until you got the answers you were satisfied with? You answered no. The results came back all the same to each one of those questions, and it came back that Mignon did not tell the truth.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
It is crazy. I 100% agree with you. That
I hate
is
you so much.
crazy.
You put my baby through hell.
That is crazy.
You making my baby through hell.
I
Through hell,
don't.
Ma.
I'm sorry,
That
daughter,
happened
but
to you.
it did.
You should know how my baby feel. How you do that to your own
Why did
granddaughter?
she pants, dude?
Man, she gonna do that to a certain age.
But that's regardless. You fabricated the story. You
I
forced the
didn't.
story
She
on
told
your
me
grand.
this.
No. You lied. And she brings up a good point. You're interrogating a child at 2 o'clock in the morning while you're intoxicated.
Right, that was wrong. I
but
know that.
Right, so who does that? A liar does that.
Listen, if you knew the kind of mother she was,
Well,
That's
that's
you want
regardless.
me to be
around her kids, you would understand. You would understand.
You know
want me to
what?
be you.
okay.
You
We
want me to be
don't-
you.
It's okay.
We
You
don't.
want me to be you. I'm
we
not.
don't know what kind of
Talking
mother
about,
she is.
you want me to be you and
We
I'm not.
don't know what kind of mother she is, but we know what kind of mother you are.
What kind of mother am I? What kind of mother am I,
And with
Steve?
that, you can take your lying ass and get the hell off my stage. I have no idea why your mother would make up that crazy story and put your daughter through it, her granddaughter. But I got a feeling a lot of alcohol consumption runs through your family and a lot of bad.
She drinks a lot. Her and Aisha
Yeah. Well, I
sits
mean,
at home on
your
the
sister's
couch.
fighting you.
Drinks a
This
lot.
one's making lies on you. And maybe you should take a break from your family because they don't seem like they're doing a lot of good for you. I hope that your daughter's okay, and I wish you all the best of luck moving forward. Good day. Very nice meeting you. On October 18, 2019, Amanda and Amando's 15-year-old daughter, Mariah, missed her bus from school and did not come home. Amber spent hours frantically calling hospitals and police trying to locate her daughter. And then her worst fears were confirmed. Amber received a chilling call from Mariah telling her that she had been kidnapped.
The day I was abducted was terrifying. It really was, but the only thing I was thinking is, how am I going to get out of this? How can I get through it? How could I get home?
So he gets in the car, he brings you to his house, or?
Yeah, so sorry. He took me out of the car, and I was stalling. I was like pushing back, like I need to leave, like I'm going, and he was like just pushing me into the house, like kept pushing me, and his dog's just going crazy. And instead of going through the front door, he actually took me through the back.
And once he gets in your house, what happens?
Yeah, so he got really mad. He hit the cupboard because he missed me, and after that, he got even more mad. He hit me. I fell down to the ground, and he ripped all of my clothes off.
And then he proceeded to sexually assault you?
He proceeded to sexually assault me and beat me. There was one time where he was like, put this towel on, and then he made me walk around his whole house helping him find his cigarettes, and then he would like blow the smoke in my face and everything, and right after that again he would sexually assault me, but he would walk behind me smacking me and everything.
And how long did this go on for?
It was probably around 3 hours.
3 hours,
Yeah.
which, you know, that's a super long time to
Yeah.
endure something like this. This is from the police reports and the court reports. During the original kidnapping, sexual assault, and aggravated assault, Little Hale sexually assaulted Mariah 4 times. He choked her twice, struck her with a fist 40 to 50 times, and then struck her in the head with a dumbbell once. He also pulled off 7 of your acrylic fingernails from Mariah's hand to cause pain to her. He also urinated on her 3 times, punched her, smashed her head into the wall multiple times when she spit the urine out. He also tore out her nose ring and placed a stud in her mouth, forced her to swallow it by closing her mouth and punching her repeatedly in the face and throat until she swallowed it. Mariah said she was dazed and lightheaded. Mariah was able to position herself over Little Hale, and she was able to grab his penis and testicles, and she began twisting and pulling on them in an attempt to make him release her hair. Mariah said that Little Hale then bit down on her left calf on her leg very hard and would not release the bite. Mariah said she repositioned herself to get her leg out of Little Hale's bite and then headbutted him, causing him to release his grip on her hair. Mariah said she then used both thumbs to gouge Little Hale's eyes, and when she did that, she knocked off his eyeglasses. Mariah said that she was able to get free of Little Hale's grip, and she ran outside through the back door, ran into a neighbor's yard by jumping on a block wall. She was able to find an unlocked door at the back of the neighbor's house, and she entered after no one answered her scream for help. That's truly incredible. I think by fighting as hard as you did, and listen, I think most people wouldn't have fought as hard as you do because of fear, because of being paralyzed by fear, by submitting, but not wanting to get injured more. I would guess that this guy was going to kill you if you didn't get out of that house. So you're very lucky to be here today. So when you're going through this, did you feel like if I don't do this, I will die?
Yes, I did. He told me that he would kill me and that he would bury me somewhere far, far away.
Oh, jeez. Did he come running after you? Was he looking for you?
No, when I left, all I heard was still from in the house, he was like coughing really hard and
so you kind of him up.
Yeah. And when I was in the neighbor's house, I had found a spot, and when I went in there, I saw him through the blinds, and he walked through the front, and the front door was locked because I had locked it, but the back door was not. And he actually went through the back door, brought his dog in the neighbor's house, and had his dog search for me. The dog did see me. The dog did not spot me out and be like, hey, she's up here.
Right.
But the dog walked away, and I just stayed quiet, and all I heard.
So you're in the neighbor's house, and he enters the neighbor's house.
Yes, searching for me.
And he's looking for you with the dog.
Yeah. But then, I heard like a car, and then maybe not too long after, all I heard was a back door slam.
All right, so then he left.
Yeah.
And where were you hitting in the neighbor's house?
So the neighbor's house, the laundry room, so I looked in like a lot of rooms. I just like glanced real quick because I did not have any time. And I was like, I need a good hiding spot. So I go and I see a laundry room, and they have a piece of like drywall that was cut out, but you couldn't tell once it was placed there. So I moved it. I got like into that back space area, and then I pushed the drywall back in front of me.
Oh, good for you. Your dad, who, you know, he sprung into action, and he kind of mistaken. He thought that the guy's house that you
Yes,
ran to
'cause-
was the guy that abducted you.
Yeah, I gave him the address of where I was, but my dad, all he heard was I was there.
Right,
and
so he grabbed the
happened.
shotgun and said, let's go.
Yes.
Let's bring out your mom and dad. Can you relate to this story? Go to www.stevewilkos.com to get my help. You're thinking that she's at the house where this happened. You didn't realize it was at the neighbor's house that she
Correct.
ran to. What goes through your mind when you see her?
First of all, I didn't recognize her 100%. You know what I mean? I knew she was there, but I knew it was her. Ran up to her, gave her a kiss, told her I loved her, and I said, "Where's that at?"
Yeah.
Myself.
How joyous were you when you saw your dad?
I felt safe. I felt happy.
You felt like it was all over finally. Yeah. Now, Samuel seems like a really nice guy.
Yes, I'm sorry. He did offer to fix the holes in the wall.
Well, that's a nice gesture. But
Sorry.
here, you know, he comes in. He does the right thing. He lets her call you, and he's calling the police. Let's bring Samuel out.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now,
Yes.
you haven't seen him since that day. You haven't even spoken to each other.
No, we dropped
Correct.
the blanket
This-
back off, but that was it. I just saw the girl.
Yeah. When you come home and your dogs, you said, found her, and you haven't even seen, you didn't even know her name or anything ever
I
since
didn't.
then.
No.
Well, because she's a minor, and the
to
police
protect-
didn't ask you to come to court because
They didn't. They had enough evidence.
he just got the 100 years in prison.
yeah.
So this is your first time seeing her.
Yes.
She looks better.
She looks so much better. Yes.
You know what you said about you couldn't even recognize your daughter? When I looked at that, I said, this doesn't even look anything like the person that I'm sitting here now.
Yeah, I'm
but
so
you
glad
see-
that you're doing so much better, and to see you, you know, looking so beautiful. You're really an inspiration to me.
And thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you, man. You're an angel.
Sorry, I'm traumatizing you.
When you see this young girl, like, you know, just beaten to a pulp, come out in your house, what were you thinking?
I was absolutely shocked.
Yeah.
It was something that took me a second to process. My mind couldn't process it in the moment, and it took 5-10 seconds for me to even respond.
Yeah.
Seeing how horrible her situation was.
Now, you then, you know, you know, you're calling the police, you're waiting for the police to come. Here comes Dad with a shotgun, and he, you know, thinks it's you. What was that like?
Oh, that was very frightening. That
Sorry.
was probably one of the scariest things that's happened in my life. Yeah.
Yeah. And what makes you most angry about this situation?
Lack of justice, for sure. I mean, this guy had done so many other things in another state. He does 10 days in county jail. They allow him to transfer from one state to another. He's living here now for 3 weeks and never even got as little as a house visit from the local, you know, agencies.
Yeah.
He's supposed to have registered, never even did that. He had just served a little bit of time. like, and gotten caught up in some
This is
other
a guy
crap.
that shouldn't have been out.
Correct.
He had been arrested
Correct.
multiple
got
times.
He got out 2 weeks
doing
prior to
this.
this in the same state.
And they leave the state, which is very unusual.
Never
that-
even do as little as a house visit. I mean,
He violated, they didn't go pick him up.
if you get
So
a
he should
parking
never been
ticket,
in the
you get
position
lifted,
to
you know?
do this to your
No,
daughter.
they stated that they just didn't have enough probation officers per probation.
But not even that. He shouldn't
Yeah.
be out of jail.
And one more thing that makes me angry is they didn't give me 10 seconds with that.
You know, you fighting back, it's just unbelievable. You were your own hero there. Like I said, you were like an action hero there. All right, but let's meet your grandmother, Carolyn.
Just a minute.
How brave your granddaughter is, huh?
She's insanely brave. And when I told her how sorry I was that this happened to her, she said, I'm not grandma because I got away and he'll never hurt anybody ever again. And I just was like, wow, just to hear that,
Is there anything you want to say to Samuel?
I'm sorry about
Yeah, we're sorry for
It's
the trauma.
I'm sorry.
You don't need to be sorry at all.
No,
You
I
did
am.
what any father and brother would do, and what I would do for my sisters and my nieces and nephews, so there's no hard feelings at all.
And I gotta say, that's very big of you. Listen, this is just a story, an inspirational story that we're having you on the stage. There's no lie detector test, no DNA test. This is your story. But I think it's a powerful story. And unfortunately, things like this happen in this world. Yeah. And I would just think that I hope that if this happened to anybody, that they could be like you, react like you, fight for your life, do everything you can to survive, keep your wits about you. And you did this at the age of 15, which is even more incredible. So, I mean, first of all, I really think that you're going to be a hero to a lot of young women out there. You did take somebody who had been terrorizing his communities for years and years and years, never be able to take this guy off the streets, but you were able to take him off the streets. So, I'm really proud of you. Very nice to meet you.
Since last year, for a couple months, my fiance was sexually involved with my daughter. I don't think he's a bad person. He made a mistake. My daughter had told me that, her friend was sleeping with his stepmom and that his dad was okay with it. When she first told me, I didn't think nothing of it. Then my fiance came to me and said something about his coworker. How she was the 20-something-year-old, and now she's 19 or whatever with a 30-something-year-old. And I'm like, okay, so why are you talking to me about this? What's really going on? I had asked my daughter if she had sex with my fiance, and she said yes. I didn't think nothing of it at the time, so I had asked my fiance, and he said no. So at the time, I was in between. I'm like, okay, I don't know who to believe. When I officially found out, December 8th, that they had sexually been involved, I was shocked. I was crying, I was hurt, I was pregnant, my emotions were everywhere. When I first started questioning, I blamed her. When I first even realized about the situation. So I didn't pursue it right away. I wanted to make sure I had the proof first before I did anything. So now he's incarcerated and she's at my sister's house. And I just want him home with me. Because at the end, I'm the one suffering. Because I ain't got my kids. I just want this all to be over.
He's not a bad guy. He made a mistake.
When I found out, I wanted to, my first reaction was I want to punch her in the face because I'm like, how do you not know what's going on in your home with your daughter? And and it was going on for 3 months. And when she found out, what I was told from DCFS is she blamed her daughter, completely blamed her.
She blamed her daughter for having sex with her fiance.
Yes, she blamed her daughter and blamed her fiance. She said they were both guilty. Her year-old daughter came on to him, not the other way around, but then she, blamed her, told her daughter how she hated her for this. She was still protecting him. She's like, she sent me a text message saying, well, if you knew him, you would know that he would never hurt my children intentionally. And I'm like disgusted, like as a mother myself, I'm like, how could you choose anybody over your own child? I could never.
How did the situation come to light?
The situation came to light because her older daughter left her Snapchat logged in on her friend's phone. Her friends saw the messages that he was sending to her daughter. They were all sexual. He was sending them to her daughter. So her friend had seen the messages because she left her Snapchat logged in. Her friend then took the messages to her grandmother. Her grandmother screenshotted the Snapchat messages and took them straight to the school counselor, and the school counselor from there called the police, called DCFS, and sent her straight to the hospital. And she was admitted overnight to get a STD test, to do a rape kit, to do a pregnancy test, because, she can get pregnant. She's a teenager.
So what happened? Was he immediately locked up?
He was not immediately locked up. My sister delayed her daughter from talking to the detectives at sex crimes because she was still trying to protect him. She delayed it. The detective had told me that the reason they haven't picked him up yet is because that they have to speak to her daughter, and she made sure, like, she pushed it as far back as she possibly could for 2 weeks later because she was still trying to protect him. When she even found out, she still allowed this man to stay in her house.
So she stayed with him after the allegations
After the
came out.
allegations, absolutely. She still allowed this man to stay in her house.
And we're talking, he was having sexual intercourse, to be clear.
Yes, for 3 months.
Eventually, the detectives were able to interview your niece.
When I talked to the detective, I said, well, she pushed it back. I'm getting custody of them tonight. I'm meeting the social worker at the hospital, and I'm taking the girls home with me. So I want to bring her in first thing in the morning.
So the only reason why they got to her as fast as they did was because you allowed it.
Yeah, I made sure.
It wasn't even because of the mother.
No, I made sure. I was like, I'm getting the girls tonight. I want to take her to see you first thing in the morning. So what do you got available? I'll bring her the first thing you got available. Even tonight, I'll bring her,
So they came, they interview her. They end up locking up her fiance.
Mm-hmm.
He was convicted of 2 counts of unlawful sexual conduct of a minor in the 3rd degree. He was sentenced to 2 years, which to me is shockingly low.
Yes, absolutely.
Sentenced to 2 years. It has to register as a sex offender.
Yeah, tier 2 for 25 years. I went to his sentencing. I spoke on my niece's behalf. And his lawyer painted this whole picture where he felt like her teenage daughter was like the woman of the house because she was taking care of my sister's younger daughter.
He was aware of her age, though.
Yeah, absolutely. She tells me, she's hurt by her mom choosing somebody over her. Of course, their mom sees them once a week for 2 hours, and it's supervised by me or my friend, and that's all she sees. And her older daughter doesn't even want to go to visitation 99% of the time. And I talked to the social worker, and the social worker told me not to force her to go.
Before we go into much deeper in the story, I want to say thank you for stepping up and helping protect your niece.
Absolutely. Somebody needs to be a voice for these children.
Well, which you would think would be the mother.
Exactly.
But thank God they have a decent aunt. Now, your niece has also said that her fiancé exposed himself. There's a younger child in the house.
There's a younger child.
Who, let's just say, single-digit age, and that he exposed his private area to this little girl.
Yeah, to supposedly hear her curiosity. She was curious about the different parts between boys and girls, and supposedly, from what I heard from my nieces, which I believe them, they're children, they're not gonna make this up. So what I heard was that she was sitting in the room and allowed this man to expose himself to her little girl and sat there and just let it happen and did nothing about it.
When you hear these stories about your sister, somebody, you obviously grew up together, right?
Yeah.
Does it shock you?
It makes me sick. It makes me sick.
Yeah.
I'm disgusted. I've reached out to counselors for them. I've been taking them to the Rape Crisis Center. On the way to the Rape Crisis Center...
Is this your sister in the hallway or something?
I believe so. On the way to the Rape Crisis Center, her...
What is she so distraught about?
On the way to the Rape Crisis Center, her youngest daughter had told me that she goes, Nene. I'm like, what, baby? And she goes, my mom let me smoke a cigarette before. And I turned my head so fast, and I'm like, excuse me? And this is her younger daughter, the little one that I have. And my first reaction was to call her and cuss her out. Like, what is she talking about right now? And then she's like, it was so long ago. And I'm like, well, how long ago could it have possibly been? Because she's a single digit age. You know what I mean? Like, and then she's like, well, she was like 3 when it happened. I'm like, that's even worse than right now.
I had a gut feeling that he was cheating on me. I thought it was one of his co-workers.
Why did you have a gut feeling he was cheating on you?
Because he was always on his phone, always messaging, and I'm always I'm the jealous type.
And instead of being some woman, it was your daughter.
Yeah. And when I was sitting here, and they brought up different stories. His co-worker was a 20-something-year-old man.
Who brought this up?
They both did.
Your daughter,
and,
fiance.
yeah. I'm
Long
sorry,
as
my
your
daughter and
your fiance.
my fiance, yes.
Is he still your fiance?
No.
Why'd you break up?
Because of everything that happened. I don't want to be with somebody that's gonna do that to my kid.
Do you still love him?
Of course, I still love him. I have a baby by him. I was pregnant at the time all this happened.
You still love him even though he had sex with your underage daughter?
I love him. I have love for him, but I don't want to be with him. I don't want to lose my kid.
But after the allegation came up, you stayed living with him.
No, he was only there that weekend. That weekend that they took him out of my...
But you stayed with him after you found out
But I
about
took
the
him to
allegation.
the police station to turn him in. I drove him down there to turn him in.
You think children joke around about having intercourse with adults?
I just didn't think that she wanted me to be with him, so it was her way of trying to...
Why wouldn't she want you to be with him?
I don't know.
Maybe because he was violating her.
My youngest would always try to pull his shorts down, and I kept telling her, stop doing that. That's not right. He has,
A penis.
Yeah, I was like, boys have different body parts than girls do, and she would always wonder...
When you found out that he exposed himself to your daughter, what did you do?
I yelled at him for it, but I didn't...
You yelled at him?
Yeah, I didn't go crazy about it because I was in an abusive relationship before I got scared.
That's sickening, and you should have went crazy about it. That's a baby.
Okay. 3-year-old told a story about you letting her smoke a cigarette. Or she was 3 years old when you let her smoke a cigarette. Did you let her smoke a cigarette when she was 3? I'm dying to know why you would let a 3-year-old. Why'd you let a 3-year-old smoke a cigarette?
Because she kept going in my purse and grabbing them, so I told her to hit it.
So she kept going in your purse, grabbing your cigarette, so you said, okay, I just can't do that fight anymore. I gotta let her smoke. Did you smoke one with her?
No.
No, seriously, did you smoke one with her?
No.
Just share, hey mom, can I get a light?
No.
What the was running through your mind?
You believe your child, Tina! What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You're a mom! You need to act like it. Somebody needs to be the voice for these babies. And you let him touch your daughter?
I'm a little confused why we did a lie detector test with you. I mean, you knew. You knew, and you haven't done anything. Christina came here and took a lie detector test. And we asked you, were you aware of any sexual contact between your fiance and your daughter? She answered yes. Did you know your fiance was having sex with your daughter? She answered yes.
What? No, I didn't.
Oh my God.
Did you allow your fiance to have sexual physical contact with your daughter? And you answered yes.
No, I
That is sickening.
You have done nothing. You're one of the biggest piece of mothers I've ever had on a stage. You should never, ever get your daughters back. I hope your sister gets to keep them forever.
I'm fighting for custody.
I hope
100%.
And you know what? When this guy gets out,
She's going to be right back with him.
You deserve them. And now I see tears, and I don't know what. Who are they for? For yourself? Because they're not for your daughters. Because if you actually had tears for your daughters, you would have called the police, you would have showed up in court, which you did neither of. You are a horrible, horrible human being and a terrible mother, and I hope you rot in hell and someday jail. Get the hell off my stage! I don't have to hope. I know you're going to take care of these kids, and I wish you all the luck. Thanks for coming on.
The last time I saw John was in 2009, the day that he got arrested. Me and John, our families have known each other since we were little kids. We started dating, which was 6 years prior to the incident that happened in 2009. So we had 2 children together, and he treated my oldest daughter like his own. The day of the incident, I was working. John had watched the girls that day. I come in at 7:30. It was dark in my house. I figured the girls are all in bed. It was quiet. I said hello. Nobody answered. I went into my daughter's room and found John. He was sitting on the bed with his laptop in his lap. My oldest daughter was sitting next to him, giving oral to him while my other 2 children were on the floor watching. And I asked him what the hell he was doing. I started crying. My children freaked out because they weren't expecting Mom to come in. John swears he didn't molest my daughter. He claims that he was just pleasuring himself, but I know what I saw. I ended up calling the police department. In the process of calling the police department, he was calling his father, who in turn showed up after the police were there, and his father looked at me and said, oh, he can just move out and get help and move back in. That he didn't believe his son did what he did. I walked in on it being performed. The fact that now he's trying to prove his innocence is a joke. After the police arrested John, they confiscated his laptop, and they found out there was child porn on his laptop, which in turn now he's accusing me of planting that child porn on his laptop. John was sentenced to 6 years in prison, probation, and he's on the sex offender list. To me, that's not enough. Any person that hurts a child should get more than what he got. It was a slap on the wrist. 14 years now I've been dealing with the backlash of what John did to my children, but now it's being relived. Oh, you lied about this, you did this, and the fact that his parents still believe their son didn't do it, he didn't do it, he didn't do it. To me, you know, he's guilty. His parents are still involved in the girls' lives. Periodically, they've written letters to John that the grandparents have mailed out, which we've brought that up in court, and they were told that they weren't allowed to do it. There was times where secret gifts were given to my girls from their father, and the grandparents were told to tell it was from them. My middle daughter was caught talking to her father via text message. It really pissed me off. I told his parents I didn't want any communication from John to my kids, and to me, his parents took my trust and flushed it down the toilet. They did this anyway and said, oh, told my kids, don't tell Mama this is happening, don't tell Mama this is happening. And after this is all said and done, I'm cutting ties with his family, I'm cutting ties with him. There's to be no communication. This is the last straw for me. The damage that John has done has put us all in traumatic stages. I watch my children cry every single day. Why did he do it? Why did he do it? 14 years of seeing them cry it makes me cry. Just the other day, my oldest, I told her what was going on, and she cried. From day one, this mom has protected her kids, and I'm going to continue to do it. And I'll go through hoops and hoops and hoops to sit there and prove that mom's not lying. John is.
So, John, you have to spend the rest of your life as a registered sex offender. And then there's all kind of restrictions and conditions, what you can do, where you can be, who you can see. It's got to be a tough way to live your life. Did you molest a girl? Did you download porn?
No, I did not.
Neither one?
I would never hurt the girls.
No. Now, the girl that you're accused of is a daughter that Sherry had from a previous relationship.
I was in the bedroom, and yes, I was watching porn, adult porn, and I was doing adult things when she walked in.
You were taking care of yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Were the kids in the room?
No, they were not.
Kids weren't in the room?
No.
Okay. So then Sherry walks in?
My father brought her home early from work, and he was a witness to this.
Your dad walked in on you too?
He walked her into the apartment.
Okay. You didn't think that was like not a good idea when you were doing it? Like, oh, my kids are in the next room?
I did. I also had some other issues. I was into drugs and alcohol back then.
So were you intoxicated when this was happening?
Bad choices.
Was this happening at the time?
I was
drugs
not.
or alcohol?
Yeah, but I was not intoxicated at the time.
Were you drinking?
No.
Were you high?
No.
So what are you bringing up drugs and alcohol for?
I just always made bad choices.
It sounds like you're throwing stuff out there to make an excuse.
No, I'm not trying to make excuses.
The police said they did find child porn on your laptop.
I honestly don't know where that came from. I was using a file sharing. I was using a file sharing network called LimeWire. 5 other people had also used my laptop.
Where?
At the house.
You let people come in and use your laptop?
Sherry used it. Her mother used it. Her ex-boyfriend used it.
Okay, so her ex-boyfriend?
Yes, because she...
You let use an ex-boyfriend use the computer?
She still had contact with him. I figured these people would be okay because they were like
Even
friends.
the ex-boyfriend? Really?
I should have thought twice on that. We fought it all the way up until trial, until the judge kind of put a scare into me and said that if they felt I was guilty, they would give me no less than 20. And I said, I am not going to do 20 years or more for something I didn't do.
Don't you and your lawyer say, I didn't do anything wrong. And if there's no evidence other than your wife's testimony, and your dad was there, couldn't he have backed up the story?
They wouldn't let him testify. They said he's my father, he would lie for me.
That's
They honestly did.
Okay, well...
And he's one...
Any contact with your kids during those 5 years?
During those 5 years?
Yeah.
I got a couple things like Sherry said, and...
What did you get?
A couple little letters, but
from your kids?
They stopped. You've ruined
Stop
my
being
life.
the victim. I know what I walked in on 14 years ago.
You ruined my life.
No, I didn't. You ruined your own life.
No, I did not. I didn't do anything
Yeah,
to
you
them.
did. I know what I saw.
What did you see?
I walked into my daughter's room at 7:30 at night. A coworker brought me home. The house was dark. I walked into
It wasn't his dad?
No, it was a coworker because I got to work at 7:30 and I was home 5 minutes later.
My father even said that you got
it was a
that he
coworker.
picked you up early.
It was a coworker because she went to go in to say goodnight
Okay,
to
so
them.
you walk in and what happened?
They were in my girl's room, bottom bunk, him sitting on one side with the laptop
That's
facing him.
bull.
My daughter giving him oral with his 2 children
And
on the
that's
floor
bull.
watching it.
You caught your daughter
Yes.
giving oral
That
sex?
is bull.
No, it's not.
Okay. She's how old at the time?
She was 6.
Hi, I'm John's father. On the day this incident took place, I had given Sherry a ride home from work. When we got to the house, the kids were on the couch, and she asked where their father was, and they said he was in the bedroom. I just feel he was totally set up.
So you called the police, and what happened?
They came, they arrested him, they took his laptop, and they left the apartment. They didn't talk to
When
him.
did you find out about the child porn?
The very next day.
The cops told you? So after this, he gets arrested. How you know, and you say the other 2 little girls, his 2 little girls, are in the room watching this?
Yep.
How did this affect your daughters?
They're traumatized. They've had to have counseling. They have been PTSD.
They have anxiety, depression.
How are they now?
It's hard. There's our ups and there's downs.
Yeah.
They're struggling.
Did they ever ask about their dad?
My middle one does. For the longest time, she said that it was Mama's fault that Dad got arrested. And I told her when she turned 18, if she wanted to talk to him, that was fine. But I'm not stopping her now from talking to him.
So, Helen, you don't believe your son did this?
No, I don't.
Okay. When he gets locked up, he must say, hey, Mom, this is going on, right?
Yeah.
Did you say, well, son, if you didn't do it, we need to fight this tooth and nail?
Well, that's what we did. But like he said, when he went to court, the judge and his attorney had said to him, well, you know, you could, if you go to a trial,
if you're
could
found guilty,
spend 20 to 30 years.
But that's everybody that goes to trial. That's everybody that's in court. If you're found guilty, yes, you are going to be slammed with a sentence. But if you're found innocent, you walk out the courtroom. I do have empathy for you because it's, as a parent myself, it's got to be horrible if your kid does something terrible, especially your son if he commits a crime against a child.
Well, it's even harder because when she first let him come over, I had to have no pictures of him up and around.
When's the last time you saw your grandkids?
God, I don't remember now. It's
Years?
been a while.
5 years?
June of last year, your granddaughter's high school graduation. Nice try.
Yeah, that's right. No, I didn't remember.
You
I'm
had
sorry.
to think of that. You had to think of the last time you saw your grandkids. That
Yes.
tells you a lot.
You'd have to be really evil to send a guy to prison for 5 years and totally destroy his life just because you wanted him out of the picture.
Evil's not the word.
What is the word?
Monster.
Monster.
Your son's a monster.
Well, Sherry the monster came and took Glide to tuck to tuss. I'm just being facetious.
No, I know.
Sherry, we asked you, did you truly walk in on John and observe him engaging in a sexual act with your oldest daughter? She answered yes. Do you know for sure that someone besides John downloaded the pornographic images of minors on the laptop? She answered no. Did you fabricate the story that you walked in on John and observed him sexually abusing your oldest daughter? You answered no. The results came back the same to each one of those 3 questions, and it came back that Sherry told the truth. Okay, so we broke your lie detector test down to 2 parts, the porn and the abuse. First, we're going to cover the porn. As an adult, have you ever intentionally viewed any child pornographic images or materials which depicted children engaged in sexual acts? You answered no. Did you ever watch inappropriate sexually explicit videos or films with Sherry's daughter in any room of your house at any time? You answered no. Have you ever downloaded off the internet underage child pornographic images of any kind as an adult? You answered no. Results came back all the same to each one of those 3 questions, and it came back that John did not tell the truth. So then we go on to ask him about the abuse. Did you at any time inappropriately touch either of your own daughters for your own sexual gratification and pleasures? He answered no. He told the truth.
Yeah, it was my daughter. My daughter, you did it too.
Did you ever have Sherry's daughter perform any physical sexual act on you at any time while she was in your care? He answered no, and he did not tell the truth.
That's her DNA was on your pants.
That
there
you
was
took
proof.
out of the dirty laundry.
Yeah, no, nice
Because when I
try.
left prison,
Nice
I was
try.
wearing.
What did they find?
My daughter's DNA on the his pants.
On the thigh of the pants.
No, it was
out of pants that they took from the dirty laundry that was mixed with everyone's friggin' clothes.
So why didn't everybody else?
Wait. You went to prison already, John.
I never did it.
Hey, John, you went to prison already, all right? You did 5 years of prison.
Yeah,
You're
never
a sex offender for the rest of your life. You're living in your car. You're a sick. Okay? That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to,
Let me
John.
go.
You failed your lie detector test.
Please, just
you
let
gotta
me
live
go.
with the fact. You gotta live with the fact that you did this. But you did your time in jail. You got 5 years. You're lucky you only got 5. You're lucky that bad things didn't happen for your prison. But you know what? You screwed up your whole life because you're a sick dude.
No, I never touched
You're
her. I
never
never
gonna
did
join,
anything
and you're
to her.
probably never gonna see your daughters again. So you know what? Let them go. Get out of here. Live your life.
Never touched her.
I understand it's hard, but you better wake up, because if you don't, you keep telling, oh, John, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, it's possible you could do it again. Now, knowing everything you've been through the trial, through the pleading guilty, through the 5 years of writing them letters in jail, visiting them, and all that, and being here today, passing for not abusing your granddaughters, but failing to abusing her daughter, did John do it?
I don't know, I'm gonna have a long talk with him.
Talking's
Find
not
out.
gonna help. He did
All right.
it.
Thanks for being on the show. Take care. Well, it's his opportunity for you to say, hey, I didn't do this. Thanks for coming on. Good luck to you and your daughter.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
I've watched this show for years. You can't lie to this lie detector test. I just still can't believe he'd do something like that.
Maribel says she was told by a family member that her mother, Cindy, witnessed her being abused as a child, but chose to turn around and walk away. While Cindy denies witnessing Maribel being abused, she admits to walking in on her ex sexually abusing a young boy. And there's more. Cindy's other daughter, Samantha, believes her mother stole her identity and ruined her credit. Today, both daughters need answers, but Cindy claims she's the true victim, and their relationships hinge on these results. Did your mom ever tell you any of this before about this sexual abuse? And
No, I heard it from my grandmother.
what did she tell you?
She told me that my mom walked in on me and another child, and that it was happening to the other child, and she walked in and she walked out. She didn't do anything. She didn't call
So your mom
anyone.
walked in, and a guy that she had been with at the time,
An ex, yes.
an ex, was sexually abusing a child
Right.
in her house,
Right.
and you're there.
And me and my sister were both there on the couch playing around, just playing while this
and
is
she
happening.
sees this guy abusing this young boy,
Right,
and she turned around and walked out.
right.
Did you confront your mother?
I did.
Or what did she say?
She played the victim. She said none of it happened, that everyone's just lying on her, that CPS is lying on her.
She's really mad at you and your sister.
I know she is.
It's just that you're ungrateful.
But we're mad too, and we have every reason to be. And she's mad because she's getting exposed.
She's getting exposed. Did you see the CPS records?
Yes.
And what did they say?
When I aged out of foster care, I received this big binder, and it's so big because we were raised by foster homes. That's how big it is.
You and your sister were taken away.
When we were little, yes.
Yeah.
She never raised us, so for her to say we're disrespectful to her and that she would do anything for us, no, she didn't. She never took classes. She never cared to fill out paperwork that she needed to fill. She didn't do anything.
She didn't do anything to get you back.
She didn't do anything to get us back.
What did the paperwork say?
The paperwork stated that we were sexually assaulted, sexually abused, physically, mentally, sexually abused.
And they have a medical examination of you, and they found that you were invaded.
And it's all in paperwork, although it doesn't say no names, but it's all there, and it's lies. CPS is lying on her. Everyone's lying on her.
I'm told that she stole your identity.
Yes.
How did she do that?
That's the one she loves doing. She gets credit cards out in our name. There was an incident when I was about 8 months pregnant. Me and her were in the car, and she tells me she needs my face recognition on her phone. Now I'm looking at the phone like, why do you need my face recognition for whatever you're doing on the phone? It says tax something on the top. So I make up some kind of excuse to go inside. I'm tired, it's late, so I'm tired, I go inside. But I just can't forget that how she just tried to rob me and my daughter of whatever she was trying to do.
She tried to use your ID for taxes.
Right. And she put my daughter on that information.
If the show doesn't go the way your mom wants, she's going to call CPS on you and your child.
Right. I received a message that if the show doesn't go in her favor, that she was going to call CPS on me and she was going to expose me.
For what?
I don't know what she has to expose, but I'm a good mom.
Let's meet your mother, Cindy.
You're full of
No,
everything you say is a lie because I haven't even texted you anything about this show. I haven't texted you anything about it.
And that's not you're worrying about that, but that's not the bigger problem. The bigger problem is molestation. The bigger problem is the fraud. You're worrying about one little piece of the show. The bigger problem, what about the molestation?
I didn't know anything about it. As soon as
but you waited 6 hours. 6 hours,
yes,
and you
because I didn't want
you
CPS
called
to take
grandma.
me
You
away.
didn't call the cops. You called grandma.
I called grandma crying.
No. Don't act like you was just trying to protect me. You protected yourself and you protected him. That's what you did. That's why you can't think of. That's why you can't think of anything else to say. All you're saying is the same thing.
I'm the victim too.
She acts like it. She acts
I'm
like
not
it.
saying that only you're the victim. I'm the victim too. I walked in.
How are you the victim?
I walked in on my ex.
Doing what?
Sexually abusing another child. Another child. Not Maribel, not Samantha.
Right,
another child.
Yeah. And what did you do?
I took him to his mom's house because I wanted away from
No. When you saw it happening, you saw it with your own eyes. What did you do?
I yelled. I was bitching. I didn't know what to do.
Oh, you were bitching.
I yelled. I didn't know what to do. The kids were right there.
So what did you do?
I took him away from the kids. I took him away. I didn't want him around my kids.
Did you take him away or did you walk out?
No, I didn't walk out. I didn't walk out.
Why did your mother say that you just turned around and walked out?
My mom has always tried to put my kids against me, and it works. It works.
She didn't want you to be close to your kids.
She didn't want me to be close to my kids. She didn't want me to have anything to do with my kids.
Why? Why would your mom lie?
Because my mom has always hated me. My mom has always hated me.
Why?
She's always hated me.
You're always a victim.
She had a child and she said, I'm going to hate this child.
Well, she did.
So then you walked in, you took your ex out of the room.
I took him away from the
kids.
Yes, but I called the cops that night.
When? How long after the incident?
6 hours.
Why'd you wait 6 hours?
Because I didn't know what to do. Because I didn't want CPS.
You didn't know what to do?
I didn't want CPS
How did you know to call the cops?
I called my mom crying and I
she
told her
you.
what happened.
So your mom said, call the police.
Yes.
So
you
needed your mother who hates you.
I needed my mom to come to.
You needed your mama who hates you to tell you, hey, just got sexually assaulted. You better call the cops.
I wanted my
mom
to come to San Antonio.
You have no mother instinct.
And you do.
I do.
No, you don't.
I do because I will never put my daughter through what you put me through.
Let's bring your daughter, your sister, Samantha up. How's your mom treated you?
You treated me like garbage. You treated me like I was nothing. You abused us. You threw stuff at us. All we ever wanted was for you to love us. You were supposed to be our mother. You didn't take care of us. You're not our mother. Yes, you gave birth to us, but you are not our mother. A mother would not do this to us.
Okay. Not saying anymore.
You were supposed to love us.
Okay.
Now, did your mom ask you to communicate with the sexual abuser?
Yes.
She says she didn't tell you to do that. That you
It was
wanted.
my birthday, and after we had went out to eat, it was a visit because we were still in CPS. After we had went out to eat, she had the phone. She handed it to me and she said, talk. I didn't know who was on the phone. I didn't know who it was. So I started talking to this man who was still in prison at the time. But still, why would you get me to talk to someone? You walked in molesting a kid. A kid!
If she
fails,
either way, it's a done deal. Either way.
Either way, whether I'm saying the truth or not. So I don't want to
You're
know
not
anything.
saying the truth. You're running again.
You're running away. It's like you don't know how to... Come on.
I'm glad I'm wearing my Fitbit today.
Why are you running away, huh?
Why are you running?
Why are you running?
You
Is it
knew
because
what
you
we
know
were
you're
coming
wrong?
for. You knew
know
what we were
you're
coming-
wrong? That's what it is, right? You know you're wrong, right? You know you're wrong. And you know why are you running away? Is it because you can't? Oh, I'm about to drag her back. Drag me back! Drag me back!
All right, listen, we're going to go out on stage, we're going to read the results, and we're going to get to the bottom of this, okay?
Come on.
Okay. All right, listen. Very, very confrontational. I mean, on some level, you can understand.
You don't know. It's worse when you're not around.
But you know what
it's worse. They've gang up on me. They've beat me up.
How old are you? How old are you?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, but my point is you're a grown woman, right?
I just wanted them. I want them away from me. I want them out of my face.
They're over there.
I want them out of my face.
Okay, they're not in your face.
They are in my face. They're right there. They're in my face.
They're your daughters.
I don't care. I'm done with them.
Okay,
I'm done.
We're going to read the results, and then you're going to go on your way. I have 2 children, and if they didn't want anything to do with me, if they all hated me, and if my own parents hated me, I would have
Just
to say,
get them away from me,
I'd have
please,
to say,
Steve.
you know what, Steve?
Get them away from me.
Maybe you're the problem. And the saddest thing in my life would be is if my kids hated me.
How can you see that they're not
But
the problem?
I wouldn't blame my kids for hating me.
come
I'd
on.
have to say, I did something wrong. So we asked you, did you have knowledge that Maribel was being sexually abused by your ex prior to contacting the police? Did you ever observe your ex sexually abuse Maribel? Did you ever have knowledge that Samantha was being sexually abused by your ex prior to contacting the police? Did you ever observe your ex sexually abuse Samantha? You answered no. And we didn't get results. We got inconclusive results because you were purposefully being non-cooperative.
I did the lie detector test.
You didn't do it. You
I
don't do
did
it.
it.
Listen, I've done almost 3,000 shows now. We do this lie
I've
detector all the
done
time.
them. I've done the test.
You wouldn't answer. You talked. You were moving around. You did not want to answer. You did not want to cooperate with the lie detector test. So unfortunately, we couldn't get a conclusive result because she took steps to evade answering the question.
You said you were going to take the lie detector test. You said you were going to do it for us.
She knew.
Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
I'll
You're
say,
a disrespectful little bitch.
listen,
That's what you are.
listen.
Disrespectful little bitch. Ever since you can talk.
Okay.
Ever since Maribel can talk, both of you are disrespectful.
We asked you, have you ever obtained a credit card in Maribel's name? You answered no. Have you ever used Maribel's name for any utility bill? You answered no. Have you ever used Maribel's name for the purpose of committing tax fraud? You answered no. Have you ever used Maribel's name for the purpose of committing fraud? You answered no. Have you ever obtained a credit card in Samantha's name? She answered no. Have you ever used Samantha's name for the purpose of committing fraud? She answered no, and it came back that Cindy did not tell the truth. Okay. So she's stealing from both of you. She used fraud on both of you.
But the first one came inconclusive, but this one came out lying.
Do I have to explain it to you again,
Lying
genius?
all the time. You're not running anymore.
Okay.
You ruined our lives, and you keep on doing it.
At you.
Okay.
But I'm your
little bitch.
But I'm your favorite.
Yes, you're
crazy.
And I regret having you. I regret having you. I don't want anything to do with you.
Because every time we try to rekindle our relationship, you just up. All you know how to everything up and play the victim.
You're crazy.
I want to tell you something.
No, I don't want anything to do with that.
I'm going to say something
I'm
to you,
so
and then
happy.
you can go, okay?
Because you know what?
I want
We
to
do
say something to you,
everything for
and then you can go.
We do everything for
I
your
want to
daughter,
tell you,
so
you're
it's
my
okay.
favorite.
Because they're not going to take her away.
You're my favorite. You're my favorite mother. Just like Maribel's your favorite, you are mothers I've ever had on my show. And you can take your ass and get the hell out of my studio. We don't want mothers and children not to be together, but I can honestly say, you are way better off with her out without, not in your life.
We just came to get the closure we needed.
You know the truth now, and I hope that you can find, love and comfort in each other and the rest of your siblings, and you just cut her out of your life.
Right.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
She's
I'm
your
a huge
biggest
fan.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on. The last time Dale was here, he was under investigation by Child Services. He was being accused of putting a zip tie around his young son's neck and stapling him to a wall. And that's not all. He was also accused of giving his son a black eye, a bloody nose, and illegal drugs. The accusations even included molesting his own daughter. But Dale maintained that none of these accusations were true. Take a look at this shocking story and stay tuned because we have the update. Crystal, tell me what happened 3 months ago.
3 months ago was the worst day of my life. I got my kids taken. I came home to the police and the CPS worker and a bunch of people at my house. And my kids were in the house. I came home to my son, and he had those marks around his eyes and the mark around his neck.
He had black eyes.
He had black eyes, yes.
And he had a mark around his neck, like what?
his-
Like somebody had tied something around his neck?
Yes.
And what happened? First of all, you're coming home to the police and all these CPS workers and stuff at your house. Have they never been there before?
They have, just not as many.
Okay. So now it comes and you see a lot of people and you're like, what the hell's going on? You get there, you see your son, visible injuries, right?
Yes.
What happens next?
I had tried to ask him. He was scared and nervous, and he ran off. And I didn't believe that my husband had done that. So
Who told you that your husband did it?
A bunch of people was telling me that my son had told the CPS worker that his dad did that.
Yeah. So government workers were telling you this?
Yes.
And you didn't believe them?
No.
Why not?
I don't believe them for 1 minute because of the fact that he has never abused my children.
Who did you think did the injuries to your son?
Honestly, my younger son.
And you believe he gave your older son 2 black eyes and put like a rope mark around his neck?
Yes.
Has your husband ever abused you?
No. Yes.
How has he abused you?
In the past, we have gotten into heated arguments. He's pushed me. He's slapped me.
Punched you?
Never punched me. No.
Just slap you?
Pushed me and slapped me.
Pushed you down to the ground?
Yes.
So if he'll do that to you, why don't you believe he'll do that to his own children? What's that?
You're right.
Now, the CPS documents reads that he held your son down and put a zip tie around his neck.
Yeah, that I don't believe that.
That is like pretty severe, extreme
Exactly.
torture, right?
Yeah.
A zip tie around the neck. I mean, you could kill somebody. Now, this one I don't understand. He stapled your child to the wall.
Yeah, that one I don't understand either.
How do you staple a child to the wall?
I really don't know. I
Pinch
would
their skin
assume.
and staple?
I would assume a staple gun.
Well, yeah, I would assume a staple gun. I'm saying you have to pull the skin out to staple him to the wall.
Right.
I mean, if he were to do this, he'd be like a evil person, right?
Yeah.
Does he give your kids drugs?
No, not that I know of. I'm always around unless I'm working.
Yeah. What's this about him feeding your baby drugs in a bottle?
That I don't believe either for a fact because, like I said, I've always had my kids from day one. And every time when he was on drugs, he would always leave.
Does your husband do drugs?
Not now, no.
But did he?
Yes, at some point, yes.
What do you mean at some point? When?
There was times that he did drugs before we had even gotten together the first time. He was doing drugs if and when and out of the relationship.
But he did drugs when he was with you, right?
Yes.
What
As
kind
far
of-
as I know,
what
I
kind
was
of
being
drugs?
told otherwise.
What kind of drugs?
As far as I know, it was meth.
Meth. You ever do meth?
No.
Okay. Now he's also being accused of molestation, right?
Yes.
Who'd he molest?
My daughter.
And how did this information come out?
It was a month later that the CPS worker had showed up with that accusation of him touching my daughter.
They took your children away?
Yes.
All of them?
Yes.
And while she was in some kind of care,
Foster care.
she said that my father molested me.
Yes.
Do you believe your daughter?
No, I don't believe her one bit. Because I would have seen the signs.
What
of
signs
her
would
being touched.
What signs would you have seen if you did see him?
Well, I know for a fact that she wouldn't go around her father. She wouldn't even look at him or talk to him.
That's not true. Victims are around their predator all the time. They're intimidated. They're scared. They have to deal with them a lot. They're so scared, you know. So that's not true. Why would your daughter lie? Let's put it that way.
I just feel that she would never lie. At
Well,
that
there
point,
you
I would
go.
feel-
You just contradicted yourself, though.
Yes.
Why would you, if your daughter would never lie, why would you say that about your husband?
I don't know. I've never seen.
Do you feel like
him
you got
do
blinders
anything.
on?
Yeah, a little bit, yes.
Let's meet Dell. Did you molest your daughter?
No, absolutely not. That's my little princess.
Why do you think that's coming out from?
She's learning good touch and bad touch at school, and she's going around everyone, even her little classmates. If they walk in and bump into her butt or anything, she says they're touching her private parts.
So at no time under this influence of meth, you could have done something inappropriate?
No, I was never around my daughter when I was under the influence
You never
of meth.
came home under the influence of meth?
No, I would always stay away when my kids...
That's not true. I don't believe that. No, I don't believe that for a second.
Yes.
You're telling me he never came home under the influence of meth. Where would you stay?
I would just
sleep in the woods.
Hop, my buddy's house. I had people's houses that was doing meth with me that I could stay at.
But you said you were on meth when you beat her.
Yeah, when I come home after a bender.
Yeah, so you were still under meth. So you would come home while you were under meth. So I'm saying, when you were home under influence of meth, maybe you did something to your daughter.
No, never.
Oh, no. But I'll slap my wife around. Did you ever touch your daughter for your own sexual gratification? You answered no. You told the truth. It's good, right?
Yes.
Didn't molest his own daughter. Did you ever strike your son giving him a black eye? You answered no. Did you ever strike your son causing him to spit blood? You answered no. Did you ever strike your son giving him a bloody nose? You answered no. Did you ever strike any of your children, leaving them with a mark or a bruise? You answered no. Did you ever put a zip tie around your son's neck? You answered no. Did you ever hold down your son so a zip tie could be placed around his neck? You answered no. Did you, I didn't ask you this question. Did you ever give your kids illegal drugs?
No, absolutely not.
Did you ever provide illegal drugs to your children? You answered no. Did you ever staple any of your children to a wall? No. Did you ever staple one of your children to a wall? You answered no. Results came back all the same, and they came back that Dale did not tell the truth.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Dale? Why don't you try that with me? Huh?
Where you going,
Why don't
Dale?
you try to come be a
You gonna
man
leave your wife
and try
here?
that with a grown-ass man instead of some kids? Are you kidding me? Those are my nephews.
I didn't do this. I didn't do any of this.
You just failed the lie detector.
What are you doing back here?
I didn't do this.
Once you would have passed the test, but
I
you
didn't black their eyes. I didn't beat them or nothing.
You're supposed to protect and provide them.
I have
abuse
been.
them. They deserve love. They deserve to be taken care of, not abused.
I have been taking care of them.
Not abusing them. And I told you before. And when I found out about this, I told you to come to my house and try that with a grown man. Huh?
I didn't abuse my son.
You want me to be a big brother?
I didn't beat my son. I didn't.
The little brother should.
Your son did have black eyes.
Yes.
You saw the mark around his neck.
Yes.
And your son saying, my dad did this, okay? Nobody's putting words in his mouth. He's saying, Dad did this. Dad is a meth head. Dad beat you. So the little kids that you bring into the world, little kids that, to every little kid that walks this planet, that mom is the universe, mom is God, they're looking at you and saying, hey, can you stop this maniac? I'm glad to report that the law has caught up with Dale, and I'm even more elated to welcome back his brother Zach, who helped me take a stand against this heartless, accused child abuser. Zach, glad you could join us. What happened after the show?
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Good.
So the law finally caught up with my brother. He was arrested and for child abuse, the second degree, more child abuse. He got out on bond though. He's got an ankle bracelet on, and he's pending some serious time.
So is he going to trial or?
Yeah, he's going to be, looks like he's going to trial in December at the end of this year.
He is charged with possession of a controlled substance, methamphetamine, child abuse in the second degree, child abuse in the second degree committed in the presence of a child, assault with intent to do bodily harm, domestic violence, previous conviction. He's a habitual offender. If convicted on all the charges, he could face life in prison. You know, when you hear, this would be terrible if he did this to a stranger. You know, if he was some maniac walking the streets and doing this to some stranger. This is what he's stapling his kids to the wall. I never heard that. In all the years of being a policeman, doing my own show, stapling his own child to the wall, putting zip ties around their necks, beating the hell out of them. You know, I don't know if we've ever had a bigger monster on our show.
Yeah, it's very sickening, and it really does hurt my heart.
Yeah.
I hope to see him go to prison and justice be served for the kids.
Yeah. Do you and Dale talk now?
No, I don't associate myself with anybody that does that to children.
Yeah.
And I make sure I keep my kids far away from them.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good game plan. He doesn't reach out to you?
No.
Where are the kids at, his kids at now?
Unfortunately, they're in foster care.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it might not be a bad place for him, right? Because it didn't seem like anybody that was standing on my stage that day could really take care of those kids.
Yeah, you're correct on that.
Is he still with Crystal?
Yes, him and Crystal are still together. I don't know what's worse, him doing this to the kids or a woman that stands by him.
But, you know, on stage, she said she was done. If somebody had did anything half as bad to my children, I'd be in jail, right? Like, you know, I'm not going to stay with the person that did that to my children.
No, definitely not.
So when these next court dates, do you plan on going to court?
Yes, absolutely. I want to see how the trial goes down and see how much time he gets and see justice be served.
You know, crazier things have happened. I gotta imagine he's gonna be found guilty. But either way, you have to let us know at the conclusion of that trial. You have to get back to us, let us know what happened so we can let everybody else know here. Everybody's very vested into this show. We all want to know what happens to your brother. We just wish you all the luck. Thanks for joining us. And I'm sure you feel the same way. You said it yourself. We hope your brother gets sentenced to a long prison sentence.
Absolutely.
Take care, Zach.
Thanks for having me.
I'm here with a 13-year-old girl, Marissa, who's been running away for the past 2 years. And you just came back home a couple days ago, right?
Yes, on Sunday. Well, it's because of my mom's new boyfriend. Well, he's been with her since I was 7. And all he does is he hits me. He's hit me with belts before. He constantly puts me down. He's tried raping me before. And I've tried to tell my mom before, but she just doesn't listen. We were in the living room and he had unbuttoned his pants and asked me to unbutton mine. And his pants were down and mine were almost unbuttoned. My mom walked in the door and he hurried up and pulled up his pants. And my mom had walked in the living room and asked him what was going on. He was like, oh, nothing, it's fine. And my mom was like, oh, okay.
What are you doing that he's slapping you across your face?
If I don't look him in the eyes when he's talking to me, or if I don't stand straight with my arms to my side.
If you don't look at him in the eyes, he gives you a slap.
Yes.
And is your mom there when that's happening?
Mm-hmm.
And your mother doesn't say anything about this?
No. And he'll spit on my mom, and then my mom will just sit there and cry, and then he'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, and he'll start crying.
Tony?
Yes.
So I'm talking to this young girl backstage, 13 years old, beautiful young girl, and she tells me that you slap her across the face.
That's the truth. I do slap her across the face.
You slap her across the face?
Yes.
You know what? And maybe there's a reason for it, but whatever the reason is, I'm not going to like it. So stand your ass up out of my chair.
I'm not guilty. Why should I stand up? I mean, it's your show. If that's what you want, then I will, because I respect you.
You respect me.
I do respect you.
Okay, well, then stand up.
No problem. She just runs her mouth. Just runs it and runs it and runs it. And runs it. And I ask her to just shut up. Just listen to me. And you can talk afterwards. Just shut up.
So you slap her in the face because she won't shut up?
What would you do?
You're not her stepfather. You're not married to her mother. She has a father, right?
He hasn't been there for her whole life.
Is he in her life now?
Not very much, no.
You hit her with the belt?
Never.
Never?
Never hit her with a belt.
So she's lying about that?
She is lying about that.
She's lying about that.
I would never hit her with a belt.
She talks about a story how you tried to molest her.
Molest? Oh my God, are you kidding me? If you knew me, if you had anything to do, knew me or knew her at all, you would know the crap she's been pulling, the lies she's been telling, constantly.
How much does it cost to get married? How much is a wedding license?
$75.
$75?
Yeah.
You don't have $75?
I don't have $75.
Why not?
Because I don't have a job.
Why don't you have a job?
Because I've quit so many jobs in the past, and because of my stupidity, before I met them, it's hard for me to get a job. With the economy
So then you're an excellent role model.
That's why I'm getting ready to start my own business, because no one wants to hire me.
You're an excellent role model on top of it.
I've been a father figure in life for 6 years. I've done all this.
A father figure works and provides and gives money and comes home.
You live the life I live.
Your girlfriend's name is?
Anna.
And is really good, solid relationship?
Yeah, it's pretty good. We argue just like any relationship. We fight.
You fight? Do you slap her?
No, I don't slap her.
Do you ever spit on her?
I have spit on her in the past.
Oh, God.
I have.
You went and you
I have.
On her face, what?
I have. No, I spit on her clothes.
You slap little girls in the face and you spit on women that you're in relationships
I don't slap little
with.
girls in the face.
What's a 13-year-old little girl
I
back
smacked her
there?
in the face. Give me so yeah, but you know what? You don't you weren't there. You probably would have smacked her in the face.
Oh, God.
But like I said, her mom didn't do this.
I smacked you in the face.
You might have. You might have.
My daughter's lying about this whole entire situation, and for you to jump on him like that, you don't know what I've been going through as a mother and what he's been going through as a father. She's lying. She's been lying from day one. She's not sexually abused in any way whatsoever.
Have you ever seen your boyfriend slap your daughter in the face?
Yes, I have.
And you're
Because you know why?
And you're okay with that?
Yes, I'm fine with that.
Do you
because
slap
he is
your
her
daughter in the
father.
face?
Yes, I have.
I believe that you love your daughter with all your heart. So
She didn't tell me anything about Tony trying to rape her any way whatsoever until Sunday, this last Sunday when I picked her up from JDH.
You're her mother. I don't know if I would allow anybody, God forbid I ever got divorced or got widowed, and I brought another woman into my house, that I would ever allow anybody to strike my children.
He has every right, he's her father. I love you with all my heart.
Well, then why don't you listen to me about Tony?
I
don't
love
believe
him.
anything.
I love him. I love him
I'm
very
your
much.
daughter, and you choose your boyfriend
no,
over
I
me.
don't. I choose both of you.
No, I told you.
choose both of
I
you.
said choose Tony or me, and you said
And
sat
just
there.
because
No, you
you-
sat there and you said, "Well, we're gonna get married soon."
And if these tests come back to where
If these
Tony
tests-
has
oh my
ever
God.
touched you in any way whatsoever, it will be me and you, and he will be gone.
You know who your real father is?
Yes.
And you have a relationship with him?
Yes.
And how is your relationship with your father?
I love my dad. If I could, I would love to live with him because I have rules there. I have to do chores. I just don't. He doesn't hit me. His girlfriend, if she were to ever touch me, he would instantly leave her.
And let's bring him out. Let's bring him out.
Now I can finally put it out there.
Good.
I can finally
Put it out there.
You
Put
know
it
what?
out there. Get out of my face.
You're the
'cause
worst
I don't
mom
even like you.
there is in the world.
You're the worst
You don't
piece of
even-
dad.
I don't pay
You're a
child
piece
support.
of
You're letting
crap.
this dude hit her? You're letting dude hit her? You
You
told me
knew
that. He's
that.
been hitting
You
her.
know that he
He's been now he's
slapped her.
doing sexual.
Really?
That's okay with
No,
you.
because you didn't
That's okay
plant
with
it in
you.
her head.
You
You
are
would
the
plant it
one
in
that
her head. Go be a stupid that you are.
stupid
hey,
wannabe.
You can't even be a
Hey,
father.
I've been a
A
father.
wannabe.
I've been a father.
Wannabe.
Knock it off. Just so we know, there's no fighting on stage. You're not going to act that way. You're not going to conduct yourself that way.
You're a punk, dude. You're a dead. I'm not trying to fight. I don't want to go to jail.
There's been accusations against you, Clint, concerning things that happened in the past with your daughter that your ex and the boyfriend have accused you of. You took a lie detector test today, and you were asked, did you ever have any sexual physical contact with your own daughter, Marissa? You answered no. Did you ever physically abuse Marissa? You answered no. And the results of those tests is that you have told the truth. Before the lie detector test was started, Tony told the investigator that you confessed to beating Marissa with the belt.
I
Right?
said I might have in the past. I'm not exactly sure about it, but
You might
it,
have?
It could have.
How do you not remember? You told the person that administered this test that you confessed to beating her with the belt.
And that's a lie.
You confessed to slapping her, holding her down and covering her mouth.
Every time they come to our house because her
Do I
dad
admit to being
called
wrong about
them.
that? Yeah.
Freak.
You're the freak.
Why don't you step up? Why don't you step up and be a dad? 9 months.
Why'd you tell me you had a little... All right.
Oh, I
listen.
never said that. So
Clint,
God.
Clint, unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the stage. Nobody on this stage, really, I'm impressed with as a parent. I'm really not. And there's a 13-year-old girl that these are the role models in her life. These are the mentors. She's in trouble.
This isn't normally me, man. I'm on a,
You know
I'm
what,
on a
though?
different
I hope
level
it's
right now.
not. Good luck to you.
All right.
Because unfortunately, Tony, I'd like to take my hand and cover your mouth because you just scream and scream and scream. But because I know that's really what you shouldn't do to somebody, you can get off my stage too.
No problem.
He has beat Marissa with the belt, that he
That he has
admits
spanked her with the
slapping
belt, 'cause
her,
He has not beat her with the belt.
that he holds her down, covering her mouth, spanks her, and he admits to using, not force, excessive force on her. Does that not bother you on any level at all?
It does to a certain extent, yes.
Then the test started. And he was asked, did you ever try to sexually molest Marissa? And he answered no. And the results of his lie detector test is that Tony did not tell the truth.
Wait a minute.
So the story about the pants being unbuttoned, your daughter might have been trying to really tell you the truth and really reaching out. Is there anything you want to go back and tell Tony?
Yeah. You can.
I swear to God to you.
I'm
on
done.
my life.
You're getting out of my house.
That's cool.
Stop
I'll get
swearing.
out of your house. If that's I'll get out of your guys' life because that's all I want is for you guys to have a relationship. I'll get out of your guys' life.
Why would that be not true?
It's not true.
That's fine. When
I
you
want
get
to take
home,
another
you can
test.
get an attorney and take
That's
one.
cool. That's cool. I'll do it because I swear to God, and I put it on my life.
I thought you
Ever.
loved me,
I
my
do love you.
child.
I would never do that. Are
Anna,
you hearing me?
Anna?
Are you hearing me?
Now, what I would do if I were you,
Are you listening to me?
he says he wants to take another test. So I would say, when we get home, I'm calling the police, and we will find out if you want to really find out the truth.
I do want to find out. I think that test is a lie. I would never, ever, ever touch a child like that, ever in my whole entire life.
And you know what? I think you're full of lies.
You can say
I
that.
think you're full of excuses.
I am very full of
And I'm
excuses.
done with you. Get the hell out of here.
No problem.
We're going to get you help for you and your daughter. If you need parenting classes, anger classes, whatever, we're going to help you. We're going to help you with your daughter. We're going to help make sure she gets straightened out. She doesn't run away from home anymore, okay?
Okay.
Do not let Tony back in your house.
You ain't coming back to my house. I'm sorry. I would never let anybody hurt you ever. Ever.
My guess is Russell. Russell, why are you here?
I'm here because my wife's boyfriend molested my 14-month-old daughter.
And how do you know this happened?
My daughter, my
And
wife.
you're still married?
Yes.
Okay. So somehow you two separate.
About a year ago, we separated. And when she started dating her boyfriend, I voiced my concerns. He's an alcoholic, very violent, beats women. As it went on, about 2 months ago, I had my daughter, and I was changing her. And when my wife came to pick her up, I showed her the tears that I noticed, and she said, well, it's possible. And I made it very clear that he was not to be alone with her.
So you noticed some injuries. You pointed them out to your wife. And did you take it to a doctor?
No, she said she was going to. About last weekend, I came back from fishing, and I was at a buddy's house, and I got a phone call to meet my wife at the hospital. She took my daughter in to get checked. That Friday, Jesse was alone with her. And when I got there, they noticed, like, I saw him, and I told the nurse, I'm like, that's the guy who's been doing it. Why is he in the room? Security escorted him out. When I talked to the doctor, she tells me that there's 3 possibilities. She did it herself playing around, it happened at birth, or she was molested. Well, I found out later that the doctor told my wife and her family that it happened within 72 hours.
Okay. Which just hearing it, even if you were never involved in a situation, you would say a 14-month-old didn't cause this. If you were born that way, a doctor would notice it then.
And
Kid's given a complete examination.
I would have noticed it when I was
Right.
changing her.
Okay. So when you were told this, your reaction was what?
I was furious. I went off. They escorted him off, and they had to hold me from going after him.
What has happened since?
He keeps calling Stephanie everything, and like not.
Are they
talking
still
to him.
together?
As far as I've been told, no. But
She broke up with him.
that's what I was told.
And, well, who's telling you this? Did you confront, do you
Family.
talk to your wife and say,
Me
hey,
and
did you
her
break up
talked
with this
about
guy?
it. Me and her have talked about it, but also family.
All right, well, he's here today. Let's bring him out and let you give you a chance to confront him.
Get up there! You son of a tired of excusing me of doing this. You have no right because you
Shut
don't
up,
know
you fat
anything.
piece
There's
of
no
crap.
proof. And you know it. You have been sitting here accusing me ever since you found out
You're a
Steph and I
fat,
got
worthless
together.
piece
You think that you want full custody of your daughter.
You're a fat, worthless piece. Done it before.
Tell him to stop.
I didn't do anything before. What do you know? You're making up accusations and everything and stuff like that because you're going by what people told you because they don't like me.
All right. How long have you been dating his wife?
About 7 months now.
7
since
months.
February.
Do you think it's strange that you're dating a married woman?
Well, they were separated at the time.
Well, but
when
they're
they
still
said
married.
and everything. And yeah, we've been going, you know, have been helping her out with the divorce and everything, trying to get it finalized.
Because she
and
tells you, I
processed.
want to get divorced.
Yeah, she wants to get
And
divorced. She
you
doesn't
have-
want anything
She
to
doesn't
do with
even
it.
wanna be with
you. I don't know where you're getting that from, because that's not what she
Okay,
tells me.
Hold on 1 second. I'm asking you. So you start seeing her, she's saying, I want to get divorced, and your feelings toward her are?
Well, we were great friends and everything, and now,
Okay, but
now
now
I'm
what?
like absolutely in love with her.
You're in love with her, and you're having
Yeah,
a physical relationship with her?
I'm not love relationship. Yeah.
Say that again?
The love.
Are you having
You
a physical
give her
relationship
drugs
with
so
her?
she'll have sex with you.
I don't give her drugs so she.
She
with me.
said it herself.
Okay. Do you have sex with her?
Yes.
Okay. So you're in love with her?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, did you sexually inappropriately touch his daughter?
No, I did not. I
Stop
love
lying.
that child. I love that child more than anything. I've been raising her like she's my
And if
own
you
because
have-
he doesn't want to be
he heard
around.
through
He
the
goes
great-
off and spends time with his friends
Supposedly
instead
he-
of taking care of her.
Hold on a second. You heard through some grapevine that this isn't the first time that you've done this in the past. Is that true?
That's the first I've heard about it, actually.
Well,
today.
but I'm saying, have you ever been accused of molesting any other
No.
child?
What about
No,
those
I haven't.
tendencies you're so worried about?
What tendencies? I don't have any tendencies. I don't know who told you that.
Guys, both of you leave the stage. I'm going to talk to your wife, your girlfriend, and we'll get down to the bottom of this. Do you think he's capable of doing something like this to your daughter?
Well, honestly, Steve, I think anybody is capable of doing that.
No, I'm not capable of it. Now, you're correct in the sense of, as a mother, you should say, everybody's capable of it. Because we don't know what a molester looks like. Could look like the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
But he could do it, right?
Yeah.
So you're correct in saying that. But I'm saying, it's not in me. I couldn't molest a child. So I'm saying I couldn't do it. But I'm asking, you have been in a relationship with this guy, right?
Yes.
You have feelings for him?
Yes.
What kind of feelings do you have for him?
You know, pretty strong feelings.
Pretty strong feelings, which means what? Do you love him?
Yeah.
Or you love him? Now let me ask you, since these allegations have been made that he possibly molested your daughter, have you had any physical activity with him?
No.
No. So it's come to a stop.
Yes.
Good for you. See, now those are the kind of things that make common sense to me. Let's bring out your husband, Russell, and your boyfriend, Jesse. All right, Jesse, you took the lie detector test before the show?
Yes.
How many times was it administered to you?
4.
4 times. Jesse, you were asked, did you ever sexually molest Stephanie's daughter? You answered no. The results for your polygraph is that you did not tell the truth.
You gotta be kidding me! Trusted you!
I didn't do it! I didn't do it!
I trusted you with her!
No way!
That's my daughter!
No, no, I did not touch her. I did not touch her.
Somebody, bitch!
I would never do that. Never.
She's mine, Jesse.
I didn't touch her. I want to take another test because there's no way, no way possible. I did not, never do anything like that to anybody.
Let me go in the back.
I
Let
know
the cops
it.
handle this. Okay?
I didn't take another test. You took 4 of them. You took 4 of them. Now,
How the hell do you score a test when you're being honest? I don't understand. I didn't do it, Steph. Believe me. Trust me. I didn't do it. There was no possible could have. I did. It is. I didn't do it. Touched her. No, I never touched her. I
You
swear
know how
to
that
God.
test works.
I swear to God.
okay.
My mind was wandering during the test and everything.
Your
That's the only
mind was
thing I could think
wandering
of.
during the test.
Because I was scared.
Your mind was wandering during the test. You were being accused of molesting a
Yes.
14-month-old,
I
and
know.
your mind was wandering. You tell
They
me
said it-
exactly what was it wandering on.
I was staring at the wall and my mind just kept going back and forth and everything on stuff. I swear to God, I did not touch her.
Stephanie, you took a lie detector test before the show,
Yeah.
and I have to read your results. Did you ever sexually molest your daughter?
No.
And the results, and how many times did we administer your test?
Well, I got cut off during the first time.
But how many times did we administer the test to you?
Twice.
Okay, we gave you the test 4 times.
4 times?
We gave you the test 4 times. And you failed.
What? What? There's no way. There's no
See,
way.
I told you, Steph, I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
Way.
Steph.
That's
Steph,
my daughter.
believe me.
Oh my God.
There's something wrong because there's no way she would do it, and there's no way I would do
Steve,
it.
I would touch my daughter.
Okay.
God.
Now I'm going to tell you right now, I want you to either be quiet or leave my stage. I will let you. This is a very serious matter, but when I'm talking to her right now, I don't want you to open your mouth. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
You are the mother of this child.
I am. That's my baby.
And he is the father of that child.
Yes.
And he came on the show and he took a lie detector test whether he molested his daughter, and he was able to pass it. You, on the other hand, took it 4 times and you failed it about molesting your own daughter.
How could I fail it?
Because you weren't telling the truth. That's
I would never
why.
touch my daughter like that.
Do you know of anybody that would touch your daughter like that?
No, I would not.
Have you ever witnessed anybody touching your daughter like that? Were you in the presence when your daughter was being touched in a certain way? Have you heard or have any knowledge of something bad happening to your daughter?
I wouldn't allow that. That's my daughter.
You're not answering the question.
No.
You have no knowledge.
Did he threaten you?
No.
Is that why?
No, I don't, Steve.
Then you tell me how you were able to fail this test.
I
4
don't
times.
know. I really don't. But I know that I would never lay a hand on my daughter. She's my life.
Well, there is an investigation open into what's happening to your daughter. Something happened to your daughter.
Yes, something did happen.
We know what happened. Touched her.
I didn't do it. I didn't touch her.
Before I throw you off my stage, and the good thing before I throw you off my stage is that because this is a show, the best thing is that there is an investigation open. And we have professional police officers, people that deal with this, and they are on the case. And maybe we can provide them with whatever came about with the show.
I'd like to take the
and we can
results.
find out what really happened to your daughter, and who knows what, and what they got coming to them. So I want to say, because you both lied, I'm going to give you the chance one more time to say anything that you want to say before I throw you off my stage. Is there anything else that you would like to say?
Did he threaten you?
Hold
to
on,
protect him?
let her answer.
Nobody threatened me.
Is there anything else you would like to say that could possibly put you in a better light?
I would never hurt her or
I know
put my
you wouldn't.
hands on her.
Do you have any knowledge of anybody else hurting her?
No.
Are you protecting anybody?
No.
Well, good luck with that investigation, and I hope the truth comes out when whoever did to this daughter is brought to justice. Both of you, get off my stage. Let him go. You know what the hardest thing in the world to do right now is?
Not hurt him?
Not hurt him. You're right. You're right. Now, they both failed the lie detector test. What does that tell you?
I'm getting my daughter.
Okay, good. Now, I want you to follow me, all right? I want you to really think and follow me and listen to me what I have to say. If this investigation leads into that your wife is lying about something,
she's going to jail too.
If it leads, and if it leads to the boyfriend did something, he goes to jail, right? And they're both in jail. And if you do something stupid, where are you going to end up?
Back in jail?
Where do you don't want to be?
Back in jail.
Who is going to watch out for that little girl?
Me.
You promise right on my stage and to the audience and to everybody that's watching the show that you're going to be above it all, you're going to rise above it all. And whatever you do, you're going to put your daughter's best interest first. You promise me that?
I promise.
You let your little girl. Okay.